My name is Ryan Katakula and I'm currently in the Shells in Year 7. I'm here to talk to you about how my experience at KES has gone so far, how my first year has gone, and the fun things your son might want to take up in their first year. I first visited KES for a maths outreach day, which involved us solving puzzles and problems related to maths in Big School, which is the old fancy hall up there in the other building. I really enjoyed the day. I got to meet new people from different schools, and if you're worried about lunch, then let me tell you now, that lunch was actually one of the first things that made me fall in love with KES. Seriously, the Zinger burgers are to die for. I next visited KES for the entrance exam in October, and then for an open morning just like this one, where I got to see the full campus for the first time, and I was taken aback by the size and the sheer amount of the sports fields and the science laboratories, and I couldn't wait to use them when I finally joined KES. When September finally arrived and I walked down the main drive for the first time, I was feeling both excited and nervous, but also really proud to be here, because if your son has managed to get into the school, that's one of the biggest achievements they've made in their life so far. I hoped I was ready for the challenges that lay ahead, and I thought it would take me about the first term to settle into the school, but I actually found that it was much less than that, and within the first 2 weeks only, I knew everybody in my form pretty well, many of whom I had met through clubs and societies. More on that later. Some ways I like to spend my brain times are going to the library, which you should check out, and the music practice rooms where I practice my musical instruments. I've been playing piano for a while now, and I recently sat my grade 7 exam. And because I love music so much, I decided to take up double bass with the KES music department. And I thought double bass was going to be quite a hard thing to take up. It looked difficult to play, but KES actually pushed me to love the instrument, and now I'm already playing through the grade 3 pieces, which is phenomenal progress if you compare that to other schools. One of my favourite subjects that I like to do is School for Thought, something completely different as a subject. It basically covers philosophy, and I've really enjoyed the moral philosophical aspect of the subject, and it's made me question some of my own moral beliefs in general, and I think it's made me a nicer person as well, in my opinion. If you're worried about homework, I've got some tips for that now. I'd say the homework here at KES is very doable if you're committed, and it can also be sometimes entertaining. One big piece of advice to future Shells would be to try and do your homework on the night that it is set, so that it doesn't massively pile up towards the weekend, at which point it's a nightmare to sort out. Another big piece of advice would be to do the homework that you wouldn't necessarily like as much as others first. That way you have the hard work done and dusted out of the way first, and you can have a more relaxed evening later. I think having your homework done on time and early means that you can have lots of free time to go to clubs and societies, and some of those that I've attended include Clef Club, where you compose your own music on a music notation software, and I'm also part of a music trio, the ARC Trio, where I play piano, and we have a concert on Sunday. I've joined many KES clubs, including History and Debating, and the Great Ideas Club, which is actually School for Thought related, and there's also Shells Drama Club, which we do with the girls' school as well. If your son's into drama, then every November there is a junior production that we do with the girls' school, and Shells audition for that in the summer. I've just recently done mine 2 weeks ago. Some of the highlights from this year would be the trips that I've been on. I've been on a few Sunday morning trips on cycling and hill walking around the West Midlands countryside, and those have never failed to impress me. They've always made my Sundays much better, and that's definitely something you should check out when you join. Our first major trip altogether was the Shells London day trip, where we went in 3 groups of 50. Your forms will have about 25 people in them. And that basically involved us having a guided tour around London, a walking tour. We went on a boat across the Thames, and we climbed to the top of St Paul's Cathedral. That was very entertaining. My next residential trip was Castleton. It's a small village in the Peak District. I really enjoyed that. That involved us having caving and hill walking. And the scenes were exhilarating, everybody enjoyed it, and I met lots of new people as well. Another highlight from the year that's not a trip would be the House Shout, which is basically the annual school's rock/pop concert, where each house has to pick a rock or pop song to perform in front of the big school audience, and there will be judges that give you points at the end based on your performance. The atmosphere is very vibrant. There are streamers and glow sticks being thrown everywhere. And next year, I actually want to contribute to that experience. My house came joint fourth this year, which is okay. I want to get involved in that next year because it's such a major event, often referred to as the happiest hour of the year. Just last week, all of the Shells came back from our major end of year trip, which is Shells Camp, where we cooked our own evening meals, and there were lots of games and outdoor activities to take part in. There were group challenges, and that included a game similar to Capture the Flag one night before bed. They give you hot chocolate before bed every night, which is a really nice treat. They have lots of activities like archery, abseiling, coracle boating, survival skills, where you build a shelter and light some fires, and it's actually really entertaining, and there are many more activities as well. My favourite would probably be the zip line, because I think that's helped me conquer my fear of heights almost entirely, something the Chief Master didn't get to do. Shells Camp was really nice. We went for 3 days, and I met new Shells as well. If I was asked to describe KES in 3 words, I would say that it's unique, it's inspiring because there are lots of opportunities here, and it's vibrant, it's full of life, and it's a place you'll always want to be in every day because the place is just buzzing around with excitement. It's a lovely place to be in. I hope you're enjoying getting to know more about our school this evening.
Thank you very much for that, Ryan. That was really insightful. Good evening, everyone, and to those behind me.